Hello and welcome to our Anna Marie Designs YouTube channel and of course to our latest video tutorial. In this tutorial I will be showing you how to recreate this card. It's very easy to do, and before we start let me show you what you will need to sort of get exactly the same card. Now most of these dies come from our latest Ornate Die Collection. We have the ornate square frames, the circle ornates, we have the happy birthday wreath, and of course the heart falls as well. From the previous collections, you will find the background leaves, lovely sort of large background where you can snip out only the leaves that you want, elements that you need, and of course create whatever you want to create. So this is a very, very handy die to have. First thing that I will tackle will be our primrose flowers. As you can see, they are in a beautiful, the die cut in a beautiful craft card, really lovely organic. And of course, I have the heart background in the same sort of card as well. Let me show you. So beautiful sort of matching shade as well, but I will be changing the shade of my primrose flowers and a little bit of the actual background. We leave them to dry and then we of course gonna carry on with the rest of our project. Okay, now what will you need? I will be using the modeling paste, white modeling paste, but if you do have a ceramic effect, okay, that also works really well. And I'm going to apply this modeling paste onto the piece of paper. 2 scoops, I think, will be absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm just going to close my pot, and I will also need a sponge, and I think I'm going to add some water to my sponge for the softness of stippling. So all you need to do is literally dip it into your tiny bit amount of water, add a little bit more modeling paste, and start stippling. As you can see, I haven't stippled my flowers solidly because I do want the shade of craft card to show a little bit. All right, so we're just going to leave this to dry. And now we're going to stipple the center of my heart, background die. Now, I do have the ornate circle here. So that is basically my middle of my background. Now, so if you find your center, just use even the embossing tool to give you that sort of area where you need to go. Now, if it's visible enough with the embossing tool, brilliant. If it isn't, just use your pencil. One suggestion I can give you, if you're going for the same kind of arrangement that I have here, you know exactly where to mark with your pen, with your pencil, in order for you not to see it. Okay? Now, so obviously I already have my sponge and I have my modeling paste. Again, I'm just going to stipple off onto my other piece of paper to make sure that is soft enough. Again, I don't want this effect to be solid. Now, in order for me to double check whether I am in the center, whether I have the coverage that I wanted, just simply place your ornate frame on top of it and you can see it that yes, I have. Lovely. So I'm going to leave these two elements to the side and then we're just going to start with putting the card together. Right, so now I have my flowers stippled with modeling paste, but I do want to add color to them. So as always, my favorite spray to go to is the one that I've created myself using the Viva Inka Gold Waxes. If you haven't seen that video tutorial yet, please check it out. I will include it in the description box below. But I'm using two colors. I'm using this beautiful pink. This is the magenta, okay? And I'm using the lava red. Two of these together create this most wonderful and unusual shade between red and pink, I suppose. So I love it. So before we start spraying, just make sure you shake your spray really well. Obviously, we have the mica particles inside the bottle, so we need to make sure they are properly diluted. Okay, and then we're going to start spraying. So the first color that I'm going to use will be the pink. And now the beautiful lava red. Okay, look at this. Isn't this amazing? And I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to put this aside and wait for the colors to sort of run into each other. Now onto the actual main card. So I'm using the Mont Blanc 350 gram blank card that we of course sell on our website, and of course it's lovely. Now I have my lovely background. So the background goes first, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the super strong tape to the back of my hard background die. You can also go for just normal PVA glue and add a few more lines in the center. I like to secure the center of my creation. And I think now we're just going to go for the edges. And I think I'm ready. Okay. So check the direction of your base card. Okay. And now we are ready to add the ornate frame. So I'm only applying my glue to the edging inner edges of my frame. Okay, and now my ornate square frame is ready to be stuck on. Okay. And I think it's good. So let's just secure it very gently. Right. And at this point, I think I'm just gonna return back to my primrose flowers. They are still a little bit wet, so now we're just gonna speed up the process of drying by using the heat gun. Okay, and my flowers now are nice and dry and ready to be assembled together. Right, so we're going for 2 large ones. We're now going for separate flower of the 2 medium size, and the Diddy ones, well, actually that's not the smallest size in this Primrose Die Collection, but this one will be going inside of my largest primrose. Okay. So let's put these together. Okay. There you go. My flower is done. And now I'm going to curve my largest and middle size primrose flower, and then again we're going to put them together just like the small size. Right, so my flowers are done. And now let's just start with a main arrangement. So I do have my ornate circle, which is absolutely beautiful. Die cut in a, I think this is a cocoa script from a Blissful card collection. Goes beautifully, beautifully well with a craft card. So for this one only, I'm just gonna apply some glue in few places. Right, next thing, we going to tackle the background leaf die. And I know that my flower is going to go here, the largest one, and my smaller one just somewhere here. Well, we can actually change the direction. We can go with the big one here, or the small one here. Or in fact, we can actually place large one here and small one here. How about that? So you can see that you can't really go wrong. The flowers look amazing. The dies complement each other and it looks really lovely. But now all we have to do is just figure out, obviously, where are we going to snip the leaves? Okay, so on my original, you see, I placed the large one higher because obviously I wanted to use my heart and dotty falls. And that's perhaps what we can do again is just, I'm going to swap them, okay? So we're going to do the main arrangement with the falls here and the smaller flower on this side. Right, so now let's snip where we think is best. So this is going to be my arrangement below my flower. Okay, so that's what I'm going for. I had too many leaves at the top, so I'm just going to snip out one more, or maybe two, and that will be fine. Okay, perhaps one more. Now again, when I'm looking at this arrangement, I also feel I have too many leaves, so I'm going to take something away from this arrangement. There you go. Right, so I have my leaves roughly where I want them to be. I have my flowers, and now obviously we're going for happy birthday. In fact, I'm going to snip out this bit of my leaf. There you go. Right, so I'm just going to roughly remove my flowers for now. Bring my happy birthday wreath, and I'm just going to apply hot glue gun to my one area at the moment. Okay, so this is where my flower is going to be. Right, okay, so there you go. Right, so my happy birthday wreath is down, but I want it a little bit bouncy. So what I will be adding as well, just under my wreath, is this small amount of a natural fibre. Okay, just place it just here. And just let it sit. That's all. See, just like that. It's really, really lovely. Now, at this point, I don't need to use any glue or anything else to stick my happy birthday wreath anymore. Okay, so let's place some glue to the back of my leaves, and let's put this creation together. Okay, my flower is going to go next. There you go. There you go. How bouncy is that? Now we're just going to go for the rest of the background leaves. And don't be afraid to add more leaves in case you've changed your mind, because that's what the background is for you to add, remove, and every time you do that, it will look absolutely lovely and perfect anyway. So there you go. That's for now. That's lovely. And now we're just going to go for the smaller version. Now, obviously, I know that my tag is going this way. So that's something that is obviously going to be different from my original. Okay, so if I place my flower here, which actually wouldn't look right, would it? Okay, I wouldn't give myself enough room for my message. So my flower has to go somewhere lower. And that way, yes, I've got enough room. My ribbon is too long because, of course, if I add more of what I want to add, which is the heart and dotty falls, that will cover my falls anyway. So I must trim my ribbon. Okay, that should be fine. And now, obviously, I can apply some glue to my second flower, just somewhere here. And we're just going to add the leaves. Okay. As you can see, I've changed my mind with regards to my leaves. So obviously slightly different number of them and slightly different arrangement to what I planned originally. But again, it doesn't matter. Right, so now onto my tag. And of course, I know that I want my tag to be nice and bouncy, okay, which it is. But I think in the center, I do need a sort of a little pearl, gem, anything like that that will help me lift my tag. And now I have the tag. I want to show half of my pearl. Okay, so I'm just going to apply some glue to the top area here. And now onto our beautiful heart falls. So, wow, these are lovely. Right, so I am staggering my heart falls. So they are together, as you can see. Right, and as they are drying, I'm just giving my little heart falls a little bounce. Okay, now a bit more glue. So that's what we have now. I think it's very nice to add a different color to what you already have, and I'm going for the largest heart fall with a beautiful but very delicate heart on it. Lovely. And now that I have slightly lighter color, I'm going to go for a few of the delicate but white heart falls. Right. Lovely. Now out of this one, we can see if we can add a little fall to my smaller flower, something that I haven't obviously done on my first original card, but I'm snipping out this lovely delicate heart. Okay, and if I add a diddy little bit of pad to the back, so now I'm going to add this lovely heart somewhere here. There you go. And this one, the bottom part, which is going to bring it to my smaller flower. And of course, I can bring a dotty falls to the arrangement as well. One thing that you could also do when you have a really nice, large and raised flower, you can actually apply your falls to the petal, to the area underneath your petal rather than to your base card. So see what happens here. Okay, and this fall is definitely more raised than the other one. Okay, so finally, I'm just going to give myself this lovely single leaf, and I'm going to do exactly the same with my leaf. I'm going to stick it down to my petal underneath. Right? Isn't this lovely? And now I'm going to add this beautiful pearl. Another thing I feel I must add is another little pearl inside here. Seems strange, but I feel my heart needs a center. So when I'm looking at my heart, just literally needs that something above. Right, almost done. The way I'm going to finish my card is add some pearl and pen beautiful drops inside of my square ornate frame. And my card is done.